You mentioned the Knicks. The Heat beat the Knicks. Last game, it made us feel like the Knicks had a little bit of hope at least. You know, they had a game plan. They were successful. I walked away from this series or this playoffs, obviously extremely impressed with Jalen Brunson 2 years in a row where we got to the playoffs and he upped his ante even more. And it's so unfortunate the way it ended for him because he had, I think the actual number was 6 turnovers in the entire series until that one play where he, threw it a little bit into a closed spot trying to get it out. And that's going to be like the moment that's remembered to like finish the game. You know what I'm saying? But he had been ridiculous all series long. And this is just that moment was heart-wrenching because he got punched in the motherfucking face a couple minutes before that to keep the season alive, kind of. He took that punch from Gabe Vincent like a champ and then came down and scored again. But that moment, a guy that's been so consistent and not turning the ball over, turns it over, the Heat win.
Yeah, I'm not really holding it against him because, like, that offense looked pretty bad when he was off the court. Like, they were turning the ball over. Josh Hart was trying to initiate offense. It was plays where he was just throwing it hard as hell to the wing and it was flying out of bounds. It was just like.
Congrats to Josh Hart, by the way.
No, yeah. Congrats on the babies. But, like, overall, that team, it's hard to see R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle play like that in a must-win game.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what?
I know the foul trouble of R.J. I know he's a rhythm player. He was in foul trouble a lot, so it kind of took him out of his rhythm. But 1 of 10 is pretty abysmal.
You know what? R.J. Barrett might be the definition of a rhythm player.
Yeah.
But I would say after the first 2 dud games against the Cavs, he had been very decent all playoffs long, and that was another bright spot for the New York Knicks. RJ showed up again last game, maybe not so much, but for the most part, he had been there. The
I
one
think
guy
Jalen Brunson made more field goals than an entire Knicks team or something like that.
Yeah, it was like looking at the stats. So like
crazy.
He sat only like a few minutes, and they were. I think the Heat went on like a 7-0 run, like immediately or something like that. Yeah. But I also give credit a lot to Eric Spoelstra and like the Heat for executing. But it felt like during those last couple traps, they really like the whole game itself. Like they trapped them and then they would go back and like Jalen Brunson would get to doing his thing. This time they just kept that trap going and it eventually caused a turnover, which won them the game.
Yeah. Anybody but JB is what they was thinking.
It was disappointing to see it end like that, just because. And he was stellar, so I'm not blaming him. But I would have loved to see him give that ball to Josh Hart. I feel like he was reluctant to give it to him. He was trying to see something else open up. But if you give it to him, you could just go right back and go get it to relieve the pressure off of you. Or Josh Hart, he takes the shot. And Josh Hart ain't no sniper, but for some reason he makes those type of shots.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he would have made that, but
no,
we prefer a shot attempt.
That was the issue. I felt like is when they was trapping JB, y'all wasn't always making those shots, and I felt like he was at the time.
Yeah.
So
the shooting was probably the biggest downside for the Knicks all series long, where nobody was able to hit shots outside of Jalen Brunson. And then again, you got the body language king, Julius Randle, where last game body language was on fire. He was great, you know what I'm saying? And then this game struggled a little bit, and because of that, the body language was off so bad that I guess the number 2 Knicks fan in the world, Stephen A. Smith, was on TV spazzing, talk about some we need to get him off the team. You not go win with Julius Randle. I'm calling up Portland to get Dame. I'm like, oh hell no.
He said Cat too.
He said Cat.
Yeah, he said if McBride can play minutes with Brunson, why can't Dame?
I did agree with the one point where you said that your body language, your energy is contagious. That is 100% true, especially when you're supposed to be like the best player on the team and you're the all NBA guy. Well, you can't be. I know Jalen Brunson's probably like kind of
he's the best player, I would say.
Yeah, but like Julius Randle got the all NBA now. That's kind of like what I'm saying. But
just by position.
Yeah. And you can't really have that type of body language. You're supposed to be like the top guy on the
I
roster.
agree. What's so mind-blowing about the body language is it's been a fucking conversation from last year on to here. So it's like, at what point don't you just self-reflect and say, hey, even if I am mad, even if I am selfish and I only can be happy when I'm having 30, I'm going to just act.
Yeah.
Like, we see a lot of people just
sometimes
act.
You just got to smile, honestly.
Yeah, sometimes, like, how many times have you seen a player on the bench and you know they want to be out there and they probably pissed, but they just act? Like, I seen Ayton do that with the Suns this past postseason when he didn't close out like game 3. He was on there cheering and shit. I know he was hurt. I know he wanted to be out there. It's no secret. Jordan Poole, one game.
Yesterday with the Lakers game, once it went into like the garbage time, bro, the players went out there and they was taking their shots, bro.
Oh, I don't blame him.
Shaq Harrison came out and he was firing.
Out there with that
everybody came out.
But yeah, it's just like,
we even saw it with Tatum. Tatum was playing terrible for 42 minutes. Body language never looked bad though.
But that's why.
Well, they'll say for 40. He's looking terrible for 40-ish.
But that's my thing.
Motherfucker ain't missed when it came down.
With some of the Knicks players. And that's why Josh Hart, I don't really, when he don't perform to a certain degree, I'm never that mad at him because he has this thing that's called like effort and fight. Like he's just tough. There's other guys on our team who, when they're not playing at a high level, they don't do anything else. Like there was like, okay, RJ Barrett, you're not shooting good. But you can, how many times are you going to let Kyle Lowry rip you?
Right.
Like throughout this series alone, I think Kyle Lowry might have got half of his steals on RJ Barrett.
Kyle Lowry got a crazy pick on the sideline.
It looked like a 2K steal.
It was like an animation. I'm like, no fucking way. It was the cleanest pickpocket I've seen in a long time.
That's the one that I'm referring to.
Okay. I didn't even remember if it was RJ. I just remember he got it. And I'm like, damn. Because I think your game was like slightly ahead of mine. You mentioned it. And I'm like,
he slapped the ball out of it.
Yeah.
Y'all want to guess?
Had a lot of costly turnovers in this series, I feel like.
What 3-point percentage did the Knicks shoot in this series?
31%.
28.
25.
29.9. What about the Heat?
33.
30. So it's like half of not even a half a percentage difference in the 3-point percentage. But for some reason, it felt like the Knicks were way worse from three for whatever reason.
It does. It seemed like the Miami Heat was, maybe it was just the timely threes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and also I want to give credit to Bam Adebayo because he did what he needed to do in this game.
Yes, he did.
And this is the type of instances that make you look at him when he has those poor games. Like, I know you could be better.
Yeah,
I know you could be better. But aggressive
the
Bam
defense on Randle was amazing all series. I love it.
No, it was. And
on his ass, like
when he's doing it on both sides, that's the Bam Adebayo we need.
Yeah,
and that's the Bam Adebayo that they're gonna need in whatever team they see next in the conference finals because it's gonna be a matchup.
It was a play where he had missed like 2 layups in a row. He got mad at himself. He came back, hit a jazz step mid-range jump, and then he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, Let's go. Like, don't get down on yourself.
I like
the one that had me teed up
when he dunked it.
Wait, no.
Yeah, he
had caught it from, I think, from like Caleb Martin or some shit. And he just held it for a second and he dunked it. I was like, I got hyped.
He let them motherfuckers jump. Go ahead, jump off the. I be wanting that from someone. Like, just dunk that motherfucker. Let a motherfucker know you here. But yeah, the Knicks, we got to be better, man. Julius Randle got to have mindsets where if he ain't scoring, I'm at least about to dominate the glass.
And he could play make. He could do other things. Julius Randle's very talented.
Same thing, RJ Barrett. Man, I'm not scoring. I'm finna lock up. Somebody not finna have their way off it. Like, you got to be able to affect the game.
Bro, I was laughing, too, because what hurts him, too, is he takes terrible shots, bro.
You talking about Julius?
Yes, Julius Randle. He had one shot where it's like he caught it at the 3. He took a step in. He could have just took the shot.
Yeah.
Motherfucker pump fake, took the side step, took the fade 3 to the side. I'm like, dog, bro, just take the first one.
But that's why I tell you all the time, you specifically, if I was a fan of another team and they were going against the Knicks, I would be mad when he makes the shots.
I know.
His shit is fool's gold. It's like he makes them, and now he really gets in his
And
bag.
it kills me because it was right, but it was literally as the season was ending, he was on one of the hottest streaks. He could not miss, bro.
We beat Miami on some of them shots.
Yes. Was it that corner 3? Was that against
I don't
Miami?
think it was a 3. That was a 2, but it was in the corner. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you live or die by bad shots, man. That shit is tough.
What's next for the Knicks? What's this offseason? I mean, we'll get there eventually, but like, I know Pierre already gave his last episode, basically. What do y'all see for the Knicks as far as this offseason goes?
Probably just retooling. I mean, I think Jalen Brunson you hit Jalen Brunson right on the head with like picking him up last offseason. And you just keep that culture you already have with Tom Thibodeau, honestly, if he's still there.
Yeah, I think you just need another like legit perimeter threat. I think RJ Barrett is still developing as a player, and to get where they want to be, just feel like you can't have a young guy that's still developing and finding himself. It's going to be kind of tough, especially when you're in the backcourt.
Would y'all say that this was a successful season for the Knicks?
Yeah.
Because it was better than last year, so yeah. And they actually made it to the second round. They did more, yeah. And then the first time they got bounced in the first round by Atlanta, this time they progressed. So whenever you make progress, you got it's with the
Okay, I'm glad we're in agreement because I saw some weird takes on Twitter.
I think
just because they lost, I thought this was
I think they went out in a little
season.
Disappointing of a way, but it wasn't. I don't think it was a bad season for them or disappointing.
Now, if they would have got swept by the Cavs in the first round, you would have been like, damn.
Right.
You're right.
But yeah, making it to the second round is something they haven't done in a long time.
And they beat one of the best teams in the conference in the
and
first round.
And they found out that, Jalen Brunson is really like that. There's a lot of great things from this Knicks team this season. Just a weird ending, but for the most part, successful season.
The worst thing that could happen is that we have the same exact team. But I'm torn because it's also like we don't need to force anything. Don't go get Brad Beal because he's the only thing out there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but it's like, we definitely need something to be shaken up. I'm not Stephen A. I'm not saying we need to make major, like, trade everybody. As a Knicks fan, when you're frustrated, as any fan, when you're frustrated, it's easy to say trade the whole team. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Jalen, this is what I want. I want us to come into next season and we are all aware, as fans, as media, coach, front office, and in the locker room, that our best player and our captain is Jalen Brunson. It's not Julius Randle. It's not R.J. Barrett. We are here under the leadership of Jalen Brunson. And our success and where we go is going to be determined with the ball in his hands. Mm-hmm. Because there seems to have been this entire route of like, who's the most important? Is it? And I seen them talking about it during and it's like, oh man, we need Julius Randle to just be a positive player, whether that's scoring, rebounding, defending, being able to make shots when Jalen Brunson hit him. But we don't need him to be our best player. Yeah, we need it to be Jalen Brunson because the way he affects the game is just more potent than Julius Randle. And whenever you have a structure of a team, if your guard can be your best player, you want that 10 times out of 10, unless you have fucking David Robinson. Unless. But how many dominant centers is there in the league? 3? Yep. 4? No, 3.
3.
Depending on if you count Anthony Davis as a center these days. I guess so. Yeah, he's a center. So what you got? Yeah, Jokic, Embiid, and fucking AD.
Yeah.
Oh, why don't we call Anthony Davis Ant?
Nobody calls him that shit.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But his name is Anthony. I feel like every Anthony in the world
him
is
growing up, I'm sure he probably got referred to as Ant.
Oh, you know what? His Twitch name is Ant Davis 3.
It is Ant Davis 3.
It is Ant Davis 3.
He's a sub in my chat.
Oh yeah, true. Right. Who gifted him?
Is Karl Anthony Towns out of that?
Yes.
Dominant, yes.
Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He can get back, but he's definitely out of dominant.
He's falling down the rankings.
Is there a young center on the rise?
And he's a power 4.
Yes, he is.
Young center on the rise.
Oh, fuck. Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, right. He come in, he might be down. No.